eBay has a powerful tool that I doubt many sellers are using, and it could very well make a difference in whether you're buying right or not. So let's talk about that here on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. This is a tool that you should be using in some capacity. I'm going to show it to you on the PC. It is available on the app under product research, and it's probably of even more powerful than the 90-day solds when you're trying to determine if something is worth buying, sourcing, seasonality. So let's get over to my screen and check it out. Now, here it is. So you find it under research on your seller hub under product research. And there's another handy one underneath it, sourcing insights. We'll go over that here in a second as well. But let's just say, I mean, this is obvious. I mean, you don't need product research for this, but let's just say you're looking at maybe picking up an iPhone 15 or a batch of iPhone 15s, and you're trying to figure out if it's worth your time. Now, you simply type in what you want. Now, one caveat about using product research, and that is it's not the same as when you're typing in, something in an eBay search where you can type in this long-winded, what you want, because the search in this feature doesn't work the same as an eBay search. So, for instance, I could take an entire title on eBay search and still eBay will kind of get an idea of what I want. If you put too many words in this, so if I put iPhone 15 right now, just by itself, it's yielding 73,000 sellers. I don't see the results of how many listings. It doesn't say that here. But let's just say I put cell phone, put too much information here. Well, it's now making, that's only 926 sellers. You can see that. So it's not going to yield. The more wordy you get with your request, the fewer results you're going to get. Now, you can say, in this particular case, iPhone 15, maybe you're getting a bunch of used ones. So you can then drill down here at the condition filter. So, maybe you just got a batch of someone selling a bunch of these phones, and this will drill it down. So you're looking at apples versus apples instead of apples versus orange. Different, whether it's auction, best offer, accepted, fixed price. Maybe you're searching for a certain price range. And then I'm not sure why this is all that important, looking for top rated sellers. To me, this is more of a tool that you'll use to do product research. Many times I find myself using it to, maybe the 90-day solds don't really have a whole lot of data. You can go back as far as 3 years versus the 90 days. So you can see this is quite a bit more powerful. Now, when we hit research, now, if we're looking at, I don't think I have, I mean, you could look at all these conditions that you can search for. Maybe you got a bunch of broken iPhones. Let's take a look at that. Let's say you have a bunch of broken iPhone 15s. There's been 30,093 sold in the last 3 years, even though January 30th of 2023 is where this one starts. That's right. That's 3 years. But the iPhone 15, I don't believe, was out that far back. Nonetheless, I digress. So this will give you, the initial screen will give you an idea of what the actual sold prices were by seasonality, pretty much by month. Now this one is going back 3 years, but it's going by, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can take your control key and kind of spread this out a little bit so you can actually see. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but you can actually see most of the 3 year period. Right now, this is covering kind of 2.5 years, but you can see that over time, the value of a non-functional iPhone 15 is going down. I mean, at one point, I mean, someone sold it at $4,600. I doubt that. But you're looking at the low 1 to 200s for a broken phone, 500s. Wow, that's incredible. 400s, and it's getting down to 3, 2, and then right now it's like $220. These are again, the condition filter I selected was parts not working. Just as an example, you can use any condition you want. But now let's take a look at the total sold. So like I thought, you see that there's hardly any sold here before September 1st, I think, of 2024. Okay, September 11th, 2023. So that's when the iPhone 15 came on board, apparently. And the number of solds have increased, I guess, as people are getting rid of their old phones to buy new ones. So it gives you an idea. These bars here give you an idea of how many have sold by month. Okay. Or actually, it looks like it's giving it every week. So each one of these little lines represents 1 week, and it's progressively getting more and more. So it's and it makes sense. Someone upgrading to a 17 would be getting rid of their old phone. But what's kind of crazy to me is why they'd be selling it as parts or repair. Maybe they just don't protect their phone and have a broken screen or something. Now we come over here as the average sold price and total sold. So you see the line graph will give you an idea of kind of how much is sold. It's pretty much a combination of this chart and this chart, right, into one. So you can see the sold price and the total sold. And I think it's important because the total sold will give you an idea. If you see peaks and valleys, that tells you the item is more seasonal. And we'll get to that here in a second. And the last one is distribution of listing prices. So I'm not familiar with this altogether, this particular one. I don't use it very often, but it's basically breaking it down. How many of these were under $465 that were sold? And it looks like the majority of them were. How many of them were between 465 and 930? And a lot fewer were, and then the different price buckets. But you're not going to find too many expensive for parts or repair iPhone 15s. I mean, I'm surprised you're seeing any in the 465 and above bracket to begin with. So that's a handy little tool that I thought you guys would like to see, and that is product research. But I do want to show you using the same formula here. I want to do like one thing I'm coming across with, and it's seasonal, but snow chains. Now we're here in the beginning of February. And I'm getting it real cheap, by the way. If I wasn't getting it real super cheap in a big lot, then I wouldn't be interested. But I am willing to hold on to some of these things to make some money. But as you can see, year round, they kind of dip anywhere from 28 bucks on up to 84. I mean, some months, I mean, looks like May 20th of 2024, they're selling some at $129, 132, but there's not a lot of, there's peaks and valleys, but they're not very drastic, at least as much as you think that they would be. But if you come here, it shows you a little bit different picture. This is the total sold. The other one right there was the price. So you can see the price doesn't fluctuate a lot year round on snow chains, but with the number of sold, you see a lot of peaks and valleys. And of course, it makes sense. You have some action here, February of 2023. It dies down in the summertime, picks up in the fall, peaks at the beginning of January, and it starts to die down a little bit. And then here comes the summertime. You'd be surprised. There's still 40, 50, 60 of them selling. And then it comes back up to January where it sells like 20x what you sell in the summer. And then you come back down, and then the most that we've seen sell was the storm that we had maybe a week ago or so. I guess a lot of people were reacting to that and buying a lot of snow chains, and that's 1,296 snow chains that have recently sold. So, and of course, this is going to drop back down to sort of a valley. So it gives you a clear picture of seasonality with something like this snow chains. And I didn't really select the condition, and it really wouldn't matter, I guess. You're going to still see the same peaks and valleys, pretty consistent pricing, but as far as demand is going to show you a lot of peaks and valleys. So that is product research, and it may help you if you're buying that thing and you're kind of trying to figure out, what time of year is this best, I'm going to have the best success with. And this will definitely paint a really good picture for you. Sourcing Insights, which is also in your Seller Hub. And it will kind of start off with I believe it tries to show you categories that you're already familiar with, right? So it's showing me TVs, espresso machines, digital static phase converters, waiters, headsets, digital cameras, camcorders, car audio dash units, headphones. But you can search this. You go search and browse. So you could say, I want to know, let's say swim trunks. Okay, swim trunks. You click on swimming trunks, and you can go for men. It'll give you the option to click for men there, and it will show you the same chart. It'll give you an idea, the click-through rate over time, how much demand these have. And as you can see, of course, in the summertime, you're going to have more click-through rate action than you will in the other times of the year. Total listings over time. So how many, and this is a little different than the other one because this one's just trying to give you an idea of demand with click-through rate and your competition. So the total listings, you'll be surprised that there's more listings for swim trunks in October, November, and December than there are in June or July. And that tells me you're probably looking at a lot of resellers picking these up sometime in the late summer, early fall, either through liquidation or yard sales when people are just, no longer using their swim trunks. Total items sold over time. And again, it shows you that there's a higher demand in June or July, but surprisingly in January and February, there's a pretty decent, just as much demand as say June or July as well. So that's curious. How many people would think that there's a big demand for swim trunks in January and February, like 458 sold, 466 items sold, versus June, 465 items sold, and 485 in July? I wouldn't have thought that. So, and then you can scroll down and see the different brands, the number of impressions. So you want to get items, pick up items that have more impressions. So this kind of tells you the different Mizuno types. Mizuno is definitely a better brand than, say, TYR when it comes to demand. So this will give you, and price. Price will give you the average price. And I believe this is probably defaulting at new. A lot of cool features here, but then it'll break it down to Speedo. So Mizuno has the most demand over Speedo, Arena, TYR, not branded. And then it'll give you some comparable top listings that have done well and, giving a lot of sales and impressions as a result. So then you can get in here and emulate. I always think it's a good idea to emulate a successful listing. If you're kind of having trouble selling an item, I think you can get in here and do some product research. Get in here and start looking at some of the similar things that you're selling. See what others are selling them for and how they're doing it, and try to kind of mimic that. I think that's important to get in and do as well. So that's just a little video I wanted to throw out your way. Nothing too exciting, but I think it's just another tool you can have in your arsenal that's going to help you more effectively research, whether you're doing it at home, maybe you're sourcing online, you have that tool to dive into, or you can use the cell phone and get into the product research tab. It's a little different, not as much data, but it's going to give you an idea on if it's worth buying an item. It's much better to buy an item that has pretty even seasonality than it would be to buy an item that is kind of all over the place, peaks and valleys. And even though I bought the snow chains, it's a good example of how seasonality makes a huge difference in the number of them that sell at the price point. This is where you kind of consider if just before summer, buying swim trunks or bathing suits, you might want to pay up just a little bit more because the demand's going to be the item's going to sell a little bit faster. The end of summer, you might not be paying as much because the demand is going to start to fall a little bit, and you're going to be holding on to some of those things a little bit longer. So you kind of have to weigh the two, and this tool really does a good job of doing that. So if you appreciate the information that I share, you may already know this information, but it's still a good refresher. Something to kind of fall back on. Yard sale season's coming here for many people. We already have it here in Nevada, but for you, it's coming pretty soon. And just to have this extra tool to use to maybe get an edge on your competition, well, it's going to help you in the long run. So if you appreciate this information, hit the like button. I'd certainly appreciate that. Consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell so when I go live or make another video, you will be notified. But figuring out what's worth buying, what's worth leaving is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you to have an excellent rest of your day, and we will talk to you very soon. Take care.